I'm here with JD Davis. You're a Sacramento native, so it must be kind of bittersweet to be playing for a team that might be moving there next year. So what is that reaction like for you?
Yeah, it's kind of 50-50. Being a NorCal kid, growing up in Sacramento, the Oakland Coliseum is a pinnacle, in not only in California but in sports as well. So much history around here. You can see the retired numbers up in here. There's been so many great traditions here, even with the Raiders, with Oakland, the A's here. So, but at the same time, it is exciting to get a relocation, revamp the organization, go out to Vegas, and you know what? It's just one of those things that us as players, you don't really have much of a say to it. You just got to take your punches and go along with it, and just continue to play baseball.
I'm here with Shea Langoliers, and Shea, seems like every time I talk to you, you guys are living through another version of what will inevitably be Major League Baseball history with this team. So what are your reactions to the latest situation where you might end up playing in Sacramento now?
Yeah, I think I think the news came out when we were in Detroit. It's obviously, as players, it's nothing that we can control. So it's kind of like hear about the news, kind of acknowledge it, and then what we can control is we go out on the field, try to be the best versions of ourselves, and come together as a team and just play good baseball. So that's what we're worried about.
We're focused on being a successful baseball team here in Oakland, and now that this is the last season, it's our our will to go out and have a September that's really meaningful.
You spent some time, obviously, with the Giants, so I believe you went down to Sacramento to rehab at one point in time. So obviously this team is now about to go back to play in that ballpark. What are your assessments of the park? I know I've spent a lot of time out there. It's beautiful, but from a facility standpoint, what changes do you think would need to be made for a professional club to be there?
They're going to have to put some work in for sure. I like the stadium in Sac, but I think it's 14,000 seats, 4,000 on the berm. It's a very small shared weight room that both teams use. So they'll pretty much have to build a entire new facility weight room wise. I don't know the locker room. I think it maybe holds the minimum 26 guys, and if you have any more, you probably are gonna have to extend some space. So they'll have some work to do.
It's definitely a pro sports town. It's definitely a pro sports market. It's probably not the best way to acquire a baseball team, but you got to pounce on those opportunities. So, do you see this as a place, Sacramento, a place that could keep Major League Baseball if anything happened with Vegas or if expansion happened? You think that Sacramento could be something to stay for Major Leagues?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Sacramento is, just like I said, is on the verge of being, I think, one of those expansion teams. I think it being such a big fan base out there in the Central Valley, there's so many Giants fans, there's so many A's fans around that little valley, up and down, all the way up to, you would say, Redding, all the way down, to Bakersfield down there. They're all Bay Area fans, so it's going to be interesting. Do I think in the long run, do they need to build a new baseball stadium? Yes, absolutely. I don't think Sutter Health Stadium is the final destination or final project of even if there's an expansion team, but it's very intriguing. It's very intriguing, just like you said, and it is a sports town, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do in the next 10 years.
I know that you spent some time with the Aviators, so you probably spent some time playing in Sutter Health Park with the Aviators. What are your impressions of the facilities? What are the things that MLBPA might have to step in and say, hey, we need to do this differently, or this might need to change?
Yeah, I think it was a nice ballpark when I played there in 22 with the Aviators. I think, like you said, there's a couple things that'll need to change. The clubhouses are behind the left field wall. There's only one batting tunnel down there. So obviously we'll have to change that, but it's nothing crazy, nothing that they shouldn't be able to do. So, but I think overall I enjoy playing there.
Yeah, and that's a park where you have to go walk out to the outfield, right, to get to the facilities. It's not like most MLB parks where you have a home clubhouse. So I don't see how they could fix that. But what does that do for you guys on a game day? You can't go check in and get your stuff in there, right?
Yeah, if you leave the dugout, you have to basically cut through center field to get to the clubhouse. So I don't know I don't know what they'll do to supplement that.
I know guys like Bushy, Emo spend a lot of time in that ballpark. Have you ever been to that ballpark at all? Have you seen it?
I had, I think, a 3-game rehab assignment in Sacramento in 2007, maybe, when I had back surgery. So my memory of that ballpark is very vague.
If the Warriors and Kings play in the play-in tournament, you're still going to root for the Warriors, right?
Well, I'm going to root for Steve Kerr, yes.